and I'm Retro Critic here today. And today I'll be reviewing one of my favorite movies of last year from 2022, and that's The Batman. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I love The Batman. I'm not kidding. I really do like this movie. I truly like this movie. And hell, you know where people overhype movies and it turns out to be something different? And it's what it turns out to be, and sometimes it can be overrated. But you know where people overly hype a movie and it's like overly praised, but it's a little bit. But when you actually see the movie, it's actually really overrated. It's actually not. But when you actually see the movie, it's actually not as good as people make it out to be. Well, now I'm one of those people that opposes movies that are overly hyped and praised for good reasons. And The Batman was one of those movies that was overly praised and extremely hyped. But I'm the kind of guy who hates that kind of stuff. And I would actually say that The Batman was one of those superhero movies that I was actually looking forward to. And I am always critical when I see a movie that's overly hyped for its own good. But I'm actually not kidding. I think this movie, The Batman, totally deserves the hype. I mean, no wonder The Batman got so much praise. And I have to tell you, The Batman truly deserves all its praise that it's been getting. The Batman is an amazing movie, and I have to say it's one of the best superhero movies out there. And I would actually say that The Batman was like the only superhero movie that I was looking forward to that I actually end up liking. And I really love this movie. I really do love The Batman. And now I would actually consider The Batman to be a superhero movie, kinda. Now, would I consider The Batman to be a superhero movie? Kinda. Now, you see, The Batman is usually a superhero movie. But this film is more of a detective noir. The film is more like a film noir detective story. And that's what I like about that. And the film is more of a suspense story. The film is like a suspense story. The film is much like a suspense thriller. And the film really feels like a dark thriller movie, but with Batman in it. And that's what I really love about it. And that actually makes the movie more awesome than it is, really. And the film truly feels like a engaging story and a mystery that makes you feel invested in the story. And a mystery that Batman tries to solve, just like Sherlock Holmes. And that's the thing, Batman does feel like Sherlock Holmes. Batman feels like he is Sherlock Holmes. And the film does such a good job of pulling you in the story. And that's what makes this film so great to me. And I love it, and that's why I really like it so much. Now let's start talking about this movie. So let's get into just my thoughts of this movie overall. So I want to first get into the director. So I'm going to talk about the director first. The film was directed by Matt Reeves. And Matt Reeves' direction is spot on here. And his direction is really good here. And I was really impressed by his direction and cinematography here. And he did such a splendid job here that he makes this movie almost look like Oscar looking. And in fact, I felt like the Oscars snubbed him for like lighting and cinematography. I think they awarded him of something, and it was very Oscar awards that look like looks like it would deserve an awards from the Oscar pictures. It has that like Oscar picture looking to it that I think it would deserve an award from. And I feel like the Oscars snubbed him in some way. And I don't know if the film got an award. I think it got award in like lighting. I think maybe the movie got an award for like lighting and camera work, but that's it. But I still feel like the movie deserved more than that. And I don't even know if it got like an award for lighting and visual effects, but still, I think the movie deserves more than that. But still, I think the movie deserves more than that. And also, the visuals were really amazing in this film. And I really like the gothic feeling in Gotham City. And its styles of the designs. And I did like the architecture of the city. And I did like the camera work of this film. I did like the camera movements of this film. And, you know, like I said, and he makes this film look so gothic looking. He does a good job of making it look like Gotham City. And overall, the style of the film is really good here. And I think Matt Reeves' direction is really good here. And I like Matt Reeves' direction in this film. I thought it was just a well-made movie. And I thought he did a fantastic job. I think he had a solid script. I think the script was like this noir-esque thriller detective story, and I wanted a dark detective story in Batman, you know, and I like how it focused heavily on more of the detective sides of Batman, and I wanted that in a Batman movie, to be honest with you, and I felt like a dark thriller, and I actually wanted a Batman movie to be a little bit more darker and have more thriller-esque things in it, you know, so that's what I really like about the movie. Okay, so now let's talk about the cast. Then there's Robert Pattinson as Batman. So let's talk about Robert Pattinson as Batman. And he was amazing in this film. He really impressed me as being Batman, and Robert Pattinson evolved as an actor. Like I mean, he really has grown as being an actor too. That's what I liked about him. And he does such a convincing job as Batman. That it's incredible. And his performance as Batman was really good in this film. He was great as Batman. He was really awesome in this role. He was really cool, and I liked his style as Batman. Now, there's Colin Farrell as the Penguin, and when I first saw Colin Farrell as the Penguin, I was impressed. I was amazed of how good he was. Like, he worked so hard to dress up like him, and he even worked so hard to have the same weight as him. It's amazing. And he was even witty in this movie, and he was actually funny in this movie a few times too, but he was also just an awesome villain in this movie. And I could say that he was a fun villain in this movie. And I thought he was really good, and I really liked his performance in this film. Okay, so now there's Catwoman, and I forgot who she's played by. Fuck it, you know, I don't even care who she's played by. I'm not the biggest fan of Catwoman in this movie. I mean, yeah, sorry, I forgot to look up who she's played by, but yeah, no, but I don't really care who she's played by. No, I don't even care about Catwoman in this movie. I don't think I even like Catwoman as much in this movie. But here's the thing, and to be honest with you, I think Catwoman is like my least favorite character in this movie. Now, look, Catwoman is, like, alright in this movie. She's not that bad. She's terrible in this film, to be honest with you. Like, she's serviceable in this film, to be honest with you, okay? But my only criticism of her is when she says that there are, like, white privileged people in this city. There are white, rich, privileged folks that run this city. I think she says there are white, privileged, rich people, rich white people that run this city. I think she says something in the lines of that. I mean, I just did not like that line. And that's what she said. And when she said that, I think I rolled my eyes, of course. Like, it's probably the only woke thing in the movie. Like, I thought that was a stupid line. And that was probably the only stupid line in the movie, to be honest with you. Like, and that line, honestly, was like some woke shit shoehorned in this movie. But other than that, I think that's my only criticism of this film, to be honest with you. Now, I do like the role of John Terrico as Carmine Falcon, I think he's called, where he plays a mobster in this movie. Now John Territo as Carmine Falcon as the mobster in this film does a great job here. He torments Catwoman and is one of Catwoman's and Batman's antagonists. And he plays such a good, intimidating villain in this film. And he's great as the mobster in this film. Like, I really like him in this movie. I think he does such a good job playing a intimidating mobster in this movie. I think he does a convincing job playing a kind of antagonist mobster in this film. I think I enjoyed him every time he was on screen. I think he was one of the best villains in this film. One of the interesting characters of this film. Now there's Jeffrey Wright, who plays James Gordon. And in this film, James Gordon is black. But it doesn't matter whether he's black or not. I think Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon did a splendid job here. Like, I don't care whether he's black or not. Jeffrey Wright did an amazing job as James Gordon here. And it doesn't matter of their skin color or how they looked. It depends how well they pull it off and how well their performance can be. And I have to say, Jeffrey Wright was fantastic in this movie. And he and Batman have great chemistry in this movie. And he and Batman worked well together. And it literally felt like a dark detective story with the two of them together and a suspense thriller when I see them both on screen. But overall, I thought Jeffrey Wright was amazing in this movie, and I would like to see more of him in the upcoming Batman films. Now there's Paul Dano as the Riddler. And Paul Dano as the Riddler in this film has an interesting take on the Riddler in this film. And overall, I thought he was really good in this movie. I mean, like, I felt like I was watching Seven when he was on screen. It felt like a suspense thriller and a dark detective story. And his clues and riddles reminded me of the Zodiac Killer. And he had an interesting, cool, unique take on the Riddler that I actually like in this film. Now, Andy Serkis as Alfred was a nice choice for me in this film. And I thought Andy Serkis is a fresh take on the character of Alfred in this film. He's almost like Bruce Wayne's father figure in this film. And you feel for him when he gets in danger. And you feel for him, especially when he gets in danger. Especially the part where he's like almost killed in the film. And you are really sympathetic for Alfred in this film. And Alfred has many words of advice and wisdom for Batman in this film. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. I think Andy Serkis was an interesting take on the character of Alfred. I think he was perfect for the role as Alfred. Now there's Barry Keoghan as the Joker. Now at the end of the film, we see the Joker appear at the end in the jail cell. And honestly, I couldn't even tell whether it was even the Joker or not. But later, I did find out it was actually the Joker. And they did even credit the actor. But, I mean, they did credit his name as, like, an unknown Arkham cellmate. Which I don't think they even want to, like, call him the Joker yet. But they didn't call him the Joker in the credits, which is strange and funny. And I only found this out in research. I only found this out when I was looking this up, but you'll only find him in the special features. And trust me, you do want to watch the special features too. I guess they didn't even want to call him the Joker yet. Like in the credits, they call him the unknown Arkham cellmate. Like I guess they still want to keep the Joker anonymous or something. I don't know. What's that about? Now there's a deleted scene between Batman and the Joker, and in a deleted post-credit scene. And the Joker is in a deleted post-credit scene. And the fact that it was a deleted post-credit scene in the first place, I can understand because of time restraints. And it was probably cut because of time restraints, because remember, this is a 3-hour movie, guys. This was a 3-hour movie, so of course I can understand why they had to cut it. But this deleted scene was amazing, because it's a scene between Batman and his interrogation of the Joker. And I understand it was cut because of timing, and it would have made the movie longer, let's be honest. But still. And that it was like filler in the film, and it was like filler to like the main story, really. So I can understand why I had to cut it down. But this scene alone reminded me of Michael Mann's Manhunter. It was just like that scene with that movie, with a scene in Michael Mann's Manhunter, which was like the first Hannibal Lecter movie, to be honest with you. Like, it reminded me of the interrogation scene in Manhunter, to be honest with you. And the interrogation is very similar to that scene. But also the scene itself has many interesting character developments. It has many interesting character developments with the Joker and Batman. And I like how Batman handles himself well and doesn't fall for it, or let the Joker affect him. And I like how the Joker's playing games with him, but also saying facts. And that the Joker's playing psychological tricks with him. And overall, this scene was really interesting to watch. And I do want to mention that Barry Keoghan was amazing as the Joker in this movie. And he did a good job here, and his performance was convincing as the Joker. And I did like his take on the Joker. His take on the Joker was quite different and unique. And he was really good in this movie. And his performance as the Joker was fantastic in this film. And Barry had such an interesting take on the character. So enough of the cast. That's my thoughts on the cast of the movie. So I want to talk about my overall thoughts on the film. So then there's the Batmobile, and I do like the part of the Batmobile in the movie. And the Batmobile was awesome in this movie. And I like the look of the Batmobile. And honestly, I think the Batmobile looks better than previous ones, to be frank and honest with you. And it has a nice style than the ones before it. And it has a nice style than the other ones before it. So the Batmobile, when I first saw it, looked really cool in this movie. And the Batmobile was such a good-looking car. Like, when the Batmobile first showed up in this movie, I was just outright cheering, and I was excited, and I was ecstatic. And I liked how it rides, and I liked how fast it was in the film. And I was just blown away. And I was just amazed of how awesome it was. And of how really good it was. So overall, I thought the Batmobile was awesome in this movie. Then there's the music of the film. And the music of the film was done by Nirvana. And I gotta tell you, Nirvana is one of my favorite bands. And to have Nirvana do the soundtrack of the film is just downright fantastic. My favorites from this movie, my favorite soundtracks from Nirvana in this movie is Can't Fight Halloween City and It's Raining Vengeance. And Can't Fight Halloween City and It's Raining Vengeance is one of my favorite soundtracks from the film. And Nirvana was awesome in this movie. Like, Nirvana was just awesome in this movie. And I would like to see more incredible stuff from them. And now, those are my thoughts on the Batman. Now, overall, I really like the Batman. And the Batman is pretty much one of my favorite movies of 2022. And I'm looking forward to the upcoming Batman films. And I heard that it's going to be a trilogy. And now, I don't agree for it to be a trilogy. Like, I don't want it to be such. And I think it makes sense for it to be 4 movies. And I think 4 movies will work better in my end. Like, you know, I hear that, you know, Matt Reeves, like, wants to make it a trilogy. And I don't think, and I don't really want it to be a trilogy, to be honest with you. Like, I don't want Matt Reeves to pull off a Christopher Nolan, to be honest with you guys. I don't want him to, like, do something similar to, like, what Christopher Nolan did. Because I think 4 movies makes more sense, because I just think, I think you have so much room to do 4 movies, to be honest with you guys. Or more. I think you can definitely do more. There's just so much wiggle room to do so much more Batman movies that Matt Reeves can do, and there's so much more ideas Matt Reeves can do for more Batman films, to be honest with you guys. But that's how I feel about that. But those are my thoughts on that. Now, even though I want more, I would like to have a little bit more of Matt Reeves' vision for Batman. And overall, I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to more upcoming Batman films. And I'm looking forward to seeing Matt Reeves' vision for Batman. And I do like Matt Reeves' interpretation for Batman. I think Matt Reeves has an interesting take for Batman. And I'm interested, and I'm looking forward to more of these Batman films. And that's pretty much it, and that's kind of how I feel. And now, overall, that's my views on the Batman, and those are my thoughts on the Batman. And I gotta tell you guys, I really like this movie. I love this movie. And guys, I give the Batman an 8 out of 10. And I think the Batman definitely does deserve an 8 out of 10. Like, I really like this film. It's an awesome movie. I love this movie. Just really cool. Highly recommend it. Okay, I mean, I really enjoyed this movie. And if you check it out, I hope you like it too. But, those are my thoughts on that. So, guys, I'm Retro Critic, and I'm out. And I'll see you guys later, and I'll see you guys around, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And peace out, and bye.